Good morning. We are back at it again, my day off, and Miss Angela has been harassing me about needing a new belt, and this old ragamuffin belt she's been dragging around, and of course she loses everything else, so we don't know where any of her others are. I decided it was just time for me to make her one, that way she's got some quality, because you can't buy quality anymore. And I've got all my leather stuff pretty much set back up here. It's been a while since I've done anything leather-wise, so follow me along, see if we can still make a belt. Well, we got that cut out. This is another roll of Herman oak. This is probably 8 or 9 ounce. When they refer to leather, it's about the thickness, and it's measured in ounces as opposed to a measurement, if you've ever messed with any leather work. I just took some rough measurements off of her old belt. I'm probably going to cut the buckle and stuff off of hers and reuse it because I don't have any laying around, but that'll get her back into a newer belt. And I say you can't buy quality anymore. You can, but a good quality leather belt anymore will cost you 70, 80 bucks, it seems like, for something that's going to last you. But we're going to continue on with this one and see what we can get done with it. Now, for all the time we've been doing these videos, I don't know that I've ever shown any of my leather work before. I've got a few pieces laying around that I've done, that I've found. It's a pancake holster I did, alligator, for one of my Kimber 45s. Mama's got one that I done for her, and it's an ostrich leg inlay. This section here is ostrich leg, and I think it turned out pretty nice for her, one of her little rigs. I've done a couple of these full-on cowboy rigs. I do all the hand tooling, so all the bullet loops, whole 9 yards on all this. I've done one for a buddy of mine too, but quite a bit of time and detail goes into these. And then I've got just some little trinkety things laying around that I've done, just playing. Little Indian stuff, just trying my hand at feathers, trying to get those to stand up off of the leather a little bit. I've done some little beverage holders, if you will, that hang on your belt. Just little knick-knack stuff. I've done a bunch of stuff along through the years, and I don't know that I've ever shown y'all any of that. So there is that. So let's continue on with her belt, and it's just going to be a plain Jane. So let's see how that turns out. Upon a little bit more looking, I found my belt cutter for the end. Just gives you a nice, clean, smooth edge. I got the holes punched in it, separated them about 1 inch out. Got this other end worked. Just gonna rivet it shut. I'm not gonna sew it. And I'm just gonna dampen this down a little bit and hit it with some medium brown. And then we'll get it conditioned back up after the dye dries, and then we'll be back in business for her belt tomorrow. I do believe I forgot to hit record, but that's the medium brown stain on the belt there. We'll let that dry. And I've got some errands to go running when I come back. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this because I will butcher it. But that's what we're going to use to slick the edges down here. And then we're going to hit it with some super sheen and some oil and then condition it. And that way, since it's a belt and it's constantly bending all the time and under tension, the more conditioner you can keep on these, the longer that belt's going to last you. The one I'm running right now, I made for myself. It's in the other room. I've had it for probably 6-7 years now, wear it religiously, and it's a great belt. But we will come back and work on the final product here in a little bit, and we'll see how Miss Angela feels about it this afternoon when she gets home. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, I know the lighting's in here is horrible, and I've went and ran a whole bunch of my errands, and I've still got a few more to do. Wanted to come in and hit on this before it got dry. We did get it dyed this morning. It's still a little bit damp, but it's not bad. I'm ready to slick this edge down, and then we'll get it sheened, and then I can start hitting it with some conditioner to get it sealed in and make it good, nice, solid, sturdy belt. I've got a cake going, and the joys of a day off. You never know what you're gonna get into. This gum, I can't pronounce it, and I'm not even gonna attempt to butcher it. I will see if I can show you the difference that this makes by burnishing this edge. Just taking a little bit of a slightly damp sponge, and if you can see this edge currently, it's not real pretty. It's not real, you know, everybody knows what a good, let me shake that up a little better, what a good factory edge looks like on leather. It's a little bit difficult to get by hand. I used to run one of these little burnishers on the end of a Dremel, and man, you can slick some leather down real quick. But this old goopy gum garbage here, you just take it and just run it down the end here for a small area that you're working on. You can get it out of the bottle. And then you take your burnisher and match up to whatever size of the leather, and this here is like an 8 or 9 ounce, so it's gonna be like this second hole right here. And it's a matter of getting the friction and the heat going, and just work it and work it and work it, and you'll make a nice slick, smooth, sealed edge on this leather that gives it kind of the finished look. And then you can also buff it, and then you can fill it with your hand. It'll just get slick, just completely slick. And then you could even put edge dressing on it if you wanted to, or however you want to finish it off. The way that I used to do it is not near as much work as doing it manually. And I had a little cocoa, I may have it laying around here somewhere, that I ran on my Dremel, and you could just fire that Dremel up on this edge and just zoom, and that was it. It's all said and done. But if you can kind of see the difference, I know it's going to be really tough to see on there, but maybe you can. It makes all the difference in the world as far as finished quality is concerned. So I'm going to work on this for a little bit, and then I'll show you finishing this thing out. Products, and more products. Super sheen, kind of sealing this in, kind of keeping the dye from bleeding off on you. It's going to seal that dye down. Keep it from wearing out on your pants and stuff like that. Get hot, sweating, whatever. Just another step in the progress. I try to do 2 or 3 good coats on the Super Sheen, and then I'll get some neat's foot oil or something around here. I'll start sealing in the back to help condition this belt so it don't start cracking and stuff when she's flexing in it, bending it, moving it. And that one looks like one oily bottle of neat's foot oil. Sometimes I like to use mink oil or something like that too, but I've got several options. But that neat's foot seems to have done the best for me on my projects through the years. And then we'll get this buckle and stuff on here, and this thing will be done. All right, there we go. Couple quick little rivets, little rivet setter. Nothing to that whatsoever. And voila. Miss Angela's got a nice squeaky new belt. Probably will oil this thing once more. Couple of days, give us a chance to really soak and dry. Oil it one more time, and then every 6 months or so after that, we'll hit it with some oil again. Quick, down and dirty, nasty little belt, nothing fancy, but it'll ought to hold the britches up, so it'll do its job. Next project I'm going to start on maybe next weekend. I've got this little chest rig here that some buddies of mine did in Kydex, and this is for my 10 mil for when we go hiking for bears. And I want to change out all these straps and do some hand tooling on the leather for these. And then I've got another project here that I just recently acquired. I did not make this holster, but I'm going to turn this one into a chest rig also, and be another hiking buddy, if you will. But I got cakes in the oven. They're about done. And catch up with me here in a few days, and maybe I'll sneak some time in and get this chest rig going and get some hand tooling done on it. And catch you guys on the next one.